The preseason roster is in. How do you feel about the guys in camp right now? On the opening day roster right now, I should say.
Yeah, like I said, we're probably about a guy or two away from finalizing the opening day roster. Doesn't have to be until tomorrow, but we have a great idea. We're probably 98% sure as to who's going to be on it. It's just going to be a matter of where, and like I said, maybe without one guy that we have on there right now. So, we're very confident. We feel we have three lines that can play. We're pretty deep up front. We just made another addition today that sort of deepens our defense core. With the veteran guy coming in and Jeff White, and our goaltending, we feel very confident.
Again, what did you know about the SPHL and specifically the Havoc before Keith Jeffries gave you the call?
Well, actually, that was a huge factor for me coming here. Was the fact that I did have some familiarity with the league through friends and through guys that I played with in the past that are now coaches here in the league, and I got to know Keith real quick over the phone through another guy who coaches in this league. So it was very the transition for me to get to know the situation that I was getting into was made quite seamless, because of the fact that I had some sort of relationship to go on prior to coming into the situation, and I'm just excited to be a part of the ownership here and the Havoc in general.
There's a lot of new faces in town right now, but there's also 6 or 7 leftovers from last year. What are you expecting specifically from the guys who were here last year and the guys who were here before then? McCreary, Radovich, Kaufeld, and Kubaliak especially have been here for a while.
Well, yeah, those guys just need to build on the years that they had last year. They all had good years personally, and they experienced some level of success from a team standpoint too. I think last year's team, I think they had a great team. I think they had a great foundation, and I'm not looking to blow things up here. And the only challenge I gave those guys was to build on their years and to get better every year. That's what we're here for. That's why I'm here. As far as the new guys, they're going to inject a little bit of a little bit more energy, a little bit more experience in some cases with some of the guys that I've brought in. And our hopes is to make sure that blends together and is an effective injection into what was already here.
There's a lot more moving around in terms of roster moves, guys moving up, guys moving out, that kind of thing in single A hockey as opposed to double A. How do you plan to kind of deal with that as the season goes on?
Well, you've got to keep. It's a good question. You've got to keep your database and your recruiting list right beside you at all times to make sure that you've got yourself in a situation so that if a good young player does get called up to whatever level, the East Coast Hockey League or the Central Hockey League, that you're able to you're able to replenish immediately and make sure that your team hasn't, still keeps stride with what we're trying to, accomplish here.
You worked with Eric Soltis, you knew him pretty well. How is your style different than his style?
I think, styles are hard to come by, are hard to explain. I think we have similar styles in the sense of our systems are concerned. I don't think there's a huge difference there. I may be a little more structured off the ice as far as in terms of what I expect out of players from a conditioning standpoint. But I think Eric. I learned a lot from Eric when he was my assistant. I hope he learned a lot from me when I was a head coach with him. So it's a situation where some of the guys will see some of the similarities that I had, with Eric, and hopefully they adapt to my system quick here.
What goals have been laid out for you by Keith and the other Havoc management, and what goals do you have personally for this coming season?
Pretty lofty expectations. Obviously, you want to build on the year that you had last year from a success standpoint with the team. But first and foremost, we've recruited players that are good people, and are going to represent our team in the community with the utmost professionalism. And that's because our job goes beyond playing hockey. You've got community involvement. You've got schools we attend. These guys are role models, and they represent our organization from Keith Jeffries down, and that's what I hope to establish. Within that frame, they're also good hockey players, and we've got a job to do from a hockey operations standpoint, and that's to go as far as we can. And we feel we've put the best team that we can on the ice right now.
What message do you have for the fans who are watching this right now?
Just we're going to provide an entertaining form of hockey. It's going to come in many different fashions. Obviously, so there's a time to be rough in this game. There's a time that we're going to need to implement skill, my goal is to sort of have some type of hybrid that the fans are going to latch onto and enjoy.
Just got a couple more questions, a few more minutes here if you don't mind. Some more personal stuff. Again, how you got started in hockey. You said you played a little bit. Talk about when you played, what position did you play, and kind of who got you into it?
All right, just growing up in Toronto, Canada, I'll take you way back. Obviously, my father, was very instrumental in getting me involved in the game. He played professional hockey. Got me started. I was lucky enough to go to school in the U.S. on a hockey scholarship, and then sort of evolved from there. Played 12 years professionally in North America and Europe, and then transitioned into coaching. So it's what I know. It's what I do best, I think, and it's definitely my passion.
Who was your idol growing up? You mentioned your father played. Obviously, I imagine he would be in there, but who else?
Well, yeah, obviously my father, and then taking it a step further, from a hockey perspective, obviously Wayne Gretzky is just, my era is, that was the guy to watch. Not unlike, people that are older than myself that latched on to guys like Bobby Orr and Gordie Howe. It'd be Gretzky.
What's your favorite memory from your playing days?
Good question. Probably, 12 years playing professionally. My third year into my pro career, we won a Central Hockey League championship in Columbus, which is of course a franchise in this league now, and pretty fond memories from that town and that year. You play 12 years, and you think, in your third year, you're lucky enough to win a championship early, and you think, okay, you're probably going to come close or at least win another one, and really only came close 3 other times, and was never able to capture another one as a player. So, that's part of my inspiration and drive as a coach is to obtain that feeling again.
What do you think about the city of Huntsville so far?
It's fantastic. Way beyond my expectations as far as as far as a city, as far as fans, as far as the welcoming factor for my family. It's been a real pleasant surprise for myself.
How does it compare to, say, you were out in New Mexico last year, a little place people don't think New Mexico and they think hockey, similar thing with Huntsville. How's it different west compared to the south?
Well, fans are very similar. Both, you don't have a ton of them, but the people you do have are very rabid and passionate about hockey, because in both markets, hockey, believe it or not, has been there for over 10 years in both markets. And people, if you look at that at a naked eye, you think no way, but that's the case. Obviously, the climate and everything else is absolutely night and day, but we've acclimated, quite nice to the climate here, and we're enjoying it.
What kind of music do you have on your iPod?
I don't have an iPod.
What kind of music do you have in your CD collection?
A lot of country.
A lot of country. Any specific artists you're a big fan of? I know Travis Caulfield. I asked him this last year. He's all about Kenny Chesney.
I like
country.
I like Kenny Chesney. I like Kenny Chesney. I like Garth Brooks and Dunn. I can't say this, don't let the guys hear this, but the odd Sugarland song's not bad too.
I'll keep that one to myself. What's the best movie ever besides Slapshot?
I have to go with Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, you want to bust out a quote?
I don't know. No, not right now.
You don't want to inspire the guys with some Bill Murray?
No.
Nothing like that? All right. I think that's actually all I've got right now. We covered just about everything else. Thanks so much.